great. Hi. Well, thank you for talking to me today. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. So
I
nice to
I,
meet you.
I enjoyed the film, and by the way, I also like you in Nine Perfect Strangers too. That's also
Aw,
good
thank
too.
you.
Have to
Thanks.
mention that. So can you start by talking about how you got involved in the film?
I read the script and instantly was so drawn into it and transported. And not very often do I read a script and I just want to read it again. And I reread it, and I found that every time I read it, I found something new, a new meaning, a new little gem. And I thought it was so magical, every part of it. How it explores sisterhood and connection and grief and empowerment. And I was instantly hooked. And I met Karen, and she's such a visionary and had such a specific eye for what she wanted. And I knew I had to be a part of it.
Okay. Other than the script, was there anywhere else that you were inspired for the character that you kind of built her based on, or did you take it all from the script?
I would say mostly from the script and talking to Karen about who she is and where she comes from, and we talked a lot about her backstory and kind of where she is at the point you meet her in the film, which is at a very very low point. So talking out specifics with Karen was really the most helpful.
Okay. Did you and the other women get together outside the show at all to kind of build that relationship? I mean, it might have
Oh
been
yeah.
during COVID, so I didn't know, but
No, we shot right before COVID, actually, in 2019. And we didn't leave each other's sides. We were all in the same hotel in Croatia, and they were still all very close, and I love them all so much.
that was one of the things I was going to ask too, is where you filmed, because that place is really beautiful. That beach, I was curious why the
Gorgeous, right?
water's so blue. Is it really that blue, or is
It
that
was
did you read?
that blue.
Oh wow,
No,
okay,
it was like it's like a dream. It's a weird fever dream, which is what the movie feels like to me.
true, true,
Yeah.
true. So did you get any like weapons training or anything like that? I know you shoot a little bit, not a whole lot, but
We did. We had some gun training, um, when we first got there, and we also had some physical training, running and working out a lot, which was so fun. I've never gotten to do that for a film, and that was really really nice and a good way to get to know everybody as well.
what did you find the most difficult?
I mean, Anna's Anna's headspace was pretty heavy. So I guess just being in that for a while was challenging, but also so beautiful. And I felt like her story and her journey was so powerful. Um, and being away from home is always hard for me. It was for a few months in Croatia. Um, so that's always tricky and can be lonely sometimes, but I felt in this project, having all these being surrounded by all these amazing women were we made all the difference.
Can you talk about working with Mia?
Mia is the best. She's so unbelievably talented and committed and generous, and we were friends before we did the movie together, so we were so excited to dive into this and explore this world together.
Okay. So what part? I mean, obviously, this character has a lot of darkness, but also some light. So what part of her kind of did you connect to? Like, how are you like her and different from her?
It's a good question. I did connect with her need to connect, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I feel like when we meet her, she is in this rut and is has this desperate need to find hope. And in order to do that, she needs to connect with people she cares about and that care about her. And that's why ultimately I fell in love with the story, because it's a story about sisterhood and how really those friendships and relationships can get you through any hard time. And I I connect with that very deeply because I'm very close with my sisters and my girlfriends, and that is so powerful to me, and you can really find strength in that. So I really connected on that level with Anna.
Okay. And this may connect with what you just said, but is there anything you've learned about yourself while filming that maybe you weren't aware or that you became better because of, or anything like that that you can think of?
Well, I definitely, you know, from talking to Karen about Anna and talking about mentally kind of what Anna was going through, um, which was grief at that point, and trauma. And I do feel like I learned, I did a lot of research on grief and the 5 stages of it, and also 9 Perfect Strangers. There's a very similar aspect to that. And that grief doesn't necessarily go away, but you do learn to accept it and live beyond it. And weirdly, in both those characters, Zoe and Anna, they do ultimately come out the other end of it.
Right, right. Do you have a favorite scene from the film that you can tease?
Oh, I loved the floating scene when Mia is teaching me how to swim in the ocean. That was just so beautiful. And we were all in the ocean together, and Sam was there with the camera, like in and out of the water. And it just felt so raw and genuine. Like it, that was just a moment of pure bliss.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say you did some underwater too. It was all then really in the water, or you didn't do any like in a tank or anything like that, stunt wise?
We only did 1 day in a tank. For most of what you see is in the real ocean. But we did some, when I fall into the fantasy world and I'm doing twists and turns, that's in a tank.
Okay. How do you choose your roles? Is there something specific? I mean, I know you said what you liked about this one, but is there anything normally specifically you look for, or how you make that choice?
Just depth. I mean, that's what I look for in general. And I do find it's getting better, but it's hard to come by with female roles. And when I see that there's depth or layers or complexity to any character, I'm so intrigued, because when you see that there's opportunity beyond the page, that excites me a lot.
Right. Do you have a dream role if you could choose anything that you'd like to be in, or maybe somebody you'd like to work with, something?
I mean, I'm just finishing Killing Eve right now, and that is probably my dream role, Villanelle, and she is just so brilliant in it. So I'm like, that would be a dream to do something like that, because you get to be a million different people pretty much.
Okay.
All in one.
Is there someone though, I mean, maybe it's somebody from there, but like an actor or director or somebody that you'd really love to get to work with?
I really admire Elizabeth Moss as an actor and just a creative. She produces, she directs, and I'm really inspired by that.
Are you interested in directing at all, or?
I'd love to try it. It's something that I can't even wrap my head around, or it just seems so hard and out of reach for me, but I would love to attempt.
Maybe someday. Well, can you describe your character in 3 words? That's usually a hard one, but
3 separate words.
whichever. I'll leave it up to you.
Okay. Fragile, broken, and hopeful.
Okay, that works. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I enjoyed the film, and I look forward to seeing the end of 9 Perfect Strangers.
Oh, yes. Get ready.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Nice to meet you.
You
Bye.
too. Bye-bye.